We're on. Good evening. Welcome along. Sunday night and another edition of the Sunday Bunch live. Joining us on the panel of the night, we've got Terry, Jack and Lee over in Spain. Our Spanish reporter, our reporter in Spain, El Elizio, or whatever it's called. Lee, how's your day been?
It's been pretty quiet, Philly, just like Sunday chores. Yesterday was a bit of a bastard because we lost, and I bought a bottle of corked red wine, which tasted like shite. So it summed up my day.
So not a good day then.
Not
Jack,
a good day.
Jack, how's your day been?
Not been too bad, mate. Not done a great deal. Been resting after a long day yesterday away at Man United. I didn't buy a bottle of corked wine, but I did see us get corked away at Old Trafford.
Hey! God, that's terrible, that. And Terry...
But really, I'm only learning from you, mate.
Well, you are. You're learning from the best. There you go. Terry, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been different. It's been canny. I got invited along to watch the ladies' women's football team today to do a bit of a vlog for them. So I went along and I watched that, but they lost 2-0 as well. So it wasn't a good performance, but it was a really good day out. You can have a pint in the stand while watching the game as well today for the very first time. So I really enjoyed that.
What's your honest opinion on the ladies' football? Or because you're getting invited now, are you just going to toe the party line?
No, it was just a one-off. I thought Charlton women were head and shoulders looking much more physical than ours. Our lot looked like very young, as if they had to grow a little bit yet. So they seemed very young. And I think there's a bit more learning and development to do in our team. But there's some good players there. Young Watson on the right-hand side had a good game.
I thought he went to Brighton.
Made a bit of a mistake, but we were well and truly beaten today, mind, because Charlton are top of the table and definitely a better team.
I think and Sunderland second, or they were second.
They've dropped down now. We've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. But it was a really good day, you know, like I see and get food. It was a relaxed atmosphere. The away fans, home fans in the same end. No hassle, no bother. No women diving on the ground, rolling around, crying with a broken toenail. Put it that way.
Fingernail, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
The credit fell off.
Right, listen, just very quickly before we start, I do want to say a massive thank you to Wolf Competitions, who are our channel sponsor for the season. That is wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Check them out, go and see what it's all about. Win yourself some money, changing people's lives. That's what we're doing. And don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can have your say via the live chat if you'd like to. Poor showing from Las Palmas Macam, who is always first up and is second, because HU is on there. Congratulations, already achieving so much. I'm proud to have Zaka as your captain. He's our Swiss captain, and his devotion and passion will never let you down. Blessings, and keep on fighting from Basel. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. Ian Brown rubbing in the fact that Las Palmas Macam is no longer first to comment. Peter Cole's there, Tony Lee's on there, Ben Allison, we've obviously went skiing in 2020. So have your say via the live chat if you wish to do so. Man United 2, Sunderland 0. When the team was announced, what were your thoughts on that then, Lee?
I think it was a bit surprising at first, because you're thinking, why would you change a team and players that have got us this far already? Because if you look at our wingers are key to our creativity. We don't create much through the middle. It's basically our middle is the engine, and the wingers is where all of the creativity comes from. So when you take out Talby and you move Lafay out of the wing to the centre, and you put Traore and Adingra in, who neither have done a great deal as of yet, you're thinking it's a bit of a strange one. But I could see the thinking behind it, because Man United do play 3 at the back. They do play a high defensive line. Adingra and Traore are quite fast. You could see why put Lafay in the middle to try and get him on the ball and play some through balls, but it just didn't work. And I think that the quicker we realised that, the better. And we went to a back 5, and then we kind of made a better go of it, didn't we, after that?
Jack, when you saw the team line up, what were your thoughts on that?
I disagree with Lee a little bit. I think, you can change your winning team. Nottingham Forest away present a different challenge to Man United away. So for me, yes, we did win away at Forest, but that's one game and that's done. You move on to the next one. You pick the team to try and beat Man United. When I first saw the team, I was quite excited by it. I thought, like Lee says, having Dingra and Traore on the wings, I was excited to see how they'd get on, getting pace in behind, especially with United playing that three at the back. I thought we might be able to catch them out. And I actually thought the first 25 minutes or so, we were the better team. And we just for the first 25 minutes, Terry, after that, we were terrible. And I think it was possibly because of that. However, as the game went on, I thought we really struggled getting outnumbered on the wings, especially on United's right-hand side. They had Mbumo and Ahmad, who were doubling up on Masuak, who I thought had a really, really poor game. And I thought we were trying to get some success out of the wingers in Traore and Adingra, but I thought they both had quite poor games. So initially, when I saw the team, I was quite excited to see how they'd get on, but I don't really think it worked. And I think when we went three at the back, we looked as if we matched Man United up a little bit more, and we looked as if we were a bit more in the game and a bit more. So we were a bit better organised, I think, when Ballard came on.
Right, okay. Sarah, you've either got really, really bad wind, or you really don't disagree with, you don't agree with what Jack's saying. Your thoughts when you saw the team?
Well, I don't understand Jack's comment, because he says the first 30 minutes we were the better side, we're 2-0 down. I don't understand that. That's what you said, didn't you?
No. First 25 minutes. So Sesko scored just after the half an hour mark. For me, the first 25 minutes, we had that chance straight away with Traore, where as long as he gets a good connection on the ball, that goes in. We got forward, we got into the box a fair few times, and there was quite a few occasions we were just sort of one mistake away from having a really good shot on goal, having a good chance. And I thought Mason Mount's goal, personally, although looking back on it, we defended very poorly in that moment. I thought it came completely against the run of play in terms of the beginning stage of the game. Once United were 2-0 up, they were in complete cruise control of that game, and we really struggled.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was disappointed with the lineup. I don't know what it is at this moment in time. The jury's out with Traore. I don't really fancy him in the team at the moment. That's just my opinion. Going to a 4-2-3-1, why change a winning side and a winning combination when you've done a job down in Nottingham Forest? Just because it's Manchester United and they've got the history and it's Old Trafford, and were we a bit overawed by the occasion? So for me, it's I think we made a rod for our own back by changing the winning side, by changing the formation. But Regis Lebrie's done a brilliant job since he come to the club. So who am I to criticise? But once we went to a back three, we did. I thought we never looked like letting a goal in. That's we see different things in different games, don't we?
Yeah. I don't think we were that bad yesterday, really, as well. And I mean, it astounds me because I watched the same game as everybody else, and I just see different things. Because I didn't think Traore was that bad, and I've heard people saying, "Oh, he was shocking" and stuff like that. And I didn't think he had that bad a game. But that's me. I know absolutely nothing.
I think that's I think there's definitely he can get into the team at some point, but I think by chucking him in at the start was probably the wrong option. I think maybe he's come off the bench after, if it's all going pear-shaped at half time, then fair enough. But I just like to keep a solid base and a solid team, and people getting used to what they're doing, having to chop and change and things, and just making things a bit more complicated. Just because it's Manchester United, they're not special. But I think we're just a little bit overawed. I think obviously we did defend poorly. It was one of those games where we one or two mistakes at the back had cost us big time. But I mean, other than for Robin Roofs, it could have been 7 or 8-0.
Right, Jack, you're wanting in there?
Yeah, I think there's this kind of the thing that people say, your best 11. Does the brief know? Does the manager know his best 11? Who's the best 11? Who's the first choice if everyone's fit, etc. And I think that's typically the way football's always been. But I think with how big tactics are now, I don't think that exists anymore. I think you have a squad full of players. And just sort of, sticking up for Lebrice a little bit here, you have a squad of players that you have to choose from. And then depending on what the game is and how you want to set up, you choose those players. You could win 5-0 one week, but you could be playing against a team that they're going to set up completely different against you the week after. He did get it wrong because, like I say, United completely, had us on our left-hand side all game. Ahmad and Mbumo were having a field day. But that's just the way football is now. And I think, you know, you can win a game and you can change the team. And if we got a result yesterday, none of us would have been saying he shouldn't have changed the winning team.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, if I won the lottery yesterday, then, you know, but it's maybes, isn't it?
Oh.
It's maybes.
It's just hindsight's a wonderful thing, Terry.
It is a wonderful
Good though.
thing.
It's good to see Regis Debris actually make a decision at 30 minutes and put rights, you know, put wrong to right.
Well, we're gonna come on to that anyway. So if we can just quickly jump in, I'd like to get some people involved on the chat already in there. Brian Watson is saying it's only 2 defeats in 7 Premiership games. Philip Emerson, the start of the season, you'd think never going to get a result at Old Trafford. Still a great start, so we can learn a lot. Ian Brown says Traore was offside at that first chance.
I don't think he was. He put the flag up, but when you look back at it, he was onside. So if he'd scored,
yeah, so it said good job he didn't score. Michael Bowers on there. Good evening, Michael. Good of you to join us. He's saying he thinks Traore's all right as well. Man United away isn't going to determine if we stay up or not. Wolves at home, huge game, and hopefully we'll bounce back. Nailed it again, Michael, as you normally do. I mean, what nobody likes Sunderland losing and stuff like that. But I mean, what were your feelings on a 2-0 defeat? Surely the defeat to Burnley earlier in the season was more of an issue than it was at Man U. I think going to Man U, you know, and getting beat. Although having said that, I think for the first time in my lifetime, I've thought we're going to Man United here, and I think we've got a very good chance of getting 3 points. Maybe it's me what's jinxed it. So your feelings on losing to Man United, I mean, it's not one of them games you have at the start of the season where you think you're going to pick up any points. Terry?
Yeah, it just proves how far we've come. To come away from Manchester United and to lose 2-0 and be absolutely devastated and think, oh, we had a great opportunity to win this game. It just proves, you know, we've come from League One against Bristol Rovers to come all the way up there at Old Trafford and play against Manchester United and be disappointed by getting beat 2-0. Just proves how much the team and the ownership and the lads have done to achieve that so far. But yeah, I was good. I was disappointed. I'm always upset when we lose a game of football. You know, I kind of changed the way I feel. I was upset. It spoiled half of my rest of my night. It's one of those things.
Lee, your thoughts on that? I mean, did it hurt the two? I mean, like I said, I know none of us like losing and stuff like that, but Man United away, you know, I mean, it's like I said, the start of the season, not one you have penciled in for a win or even a point. So your thoughts on it?
I agree with what Terry says. Like, it just shows how far we've come. But on the other side, that you look at Man United now, and they're not the team that they used to be. Old Trafford is no longer the theatre of dreams because it's got fucking holes in the roof and it's got mice running around the stands. And you got bloody Asian fans with iPads taking pictures rather than singing. So, you know what I mean? Man United at the moment, and apart from that, Man United's form at the moment with Amorim and their league position, and like last year where they finished, I think it was a good opportunity for us to go there and make a statement and put in a good performance, which we did second half as soon as we made those changes. The change with Ballard, but I think just Regis got it wrong with the starting lineup and the tactics, and that's all there is to it. Once he rectified it, we actually did all right. I mean, in the second half, Man United only had 1 shot on target, and as we'll get onto later, we had several chances to get back into the game, but we didn't take any. And then onto Traore, I thought he had a good game. He missed that chance at the first half, but if you watch, every time he got the ball, he always dragged 2 players wide, creating the space in the middle. And that's how the Xhaka shot came from. So I thought he used the ball well. And then he got involved with the Fernandes and the keeper incident. So I thought, all in all, he had a good game. I agree with Terry. I don't think he should be starting, but I think he's a good option from the bench. And then Masuaku, I think as well, he's getting a lot of pelters, but he was basically one-on-one every single time with Ahmad. And it doesn't matter if you're the best left back in the world. Ahmad's he's gonna do some damage. So I think Adingra got hooked, didn't he? Because of that, he wasn't tracking back. So no, I'm a bit disappointed with how we started, but kind of heartened by the way we finished. because I think there is signs that we didn't crumble. You know what I mean? We didn't get tonked 5 or 6-0 thanks to Robin Roos, but we also had some chances to get back in the game. So, yeah, disappointing first half, but promising second half, I think.
Right, okay. Your feelings on a 2-0 defeat then, Jack, to Man United?
To be honest, I'm really disappointed by it, and that may come across as a little bit arrogant because Man United are, to me, what I would describe as the biggest club in the world, but they're not what they used to be. Over the last year or so in the Premier League, excluding the 3 teams that went down last season and the 3 that came up this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they've picked up the lowest point out of everyone. They're one of the worst teams over the last year or so in the Premier League. And I personally thought they were rubbish yesterday. I didn't think they were anything special. Two goals that we conceded from 2, real defensive errors. That first one, that ball was able to come into Mount far too easy, completely unmarked. It was a decent finish. The second one, completely disorganised at the back. Whereas, usually Alderete, Mukele, whoever's been at the back have had a really good structure. They were a bit all over. And then Hume, who is one of the most aggressive Sunderland players I've ever seen in my life. I would say that that second goal really came from him lacking aggression. Sesko just sort of stuck his arm out and that was enough to kind of put him off and just sort of tapped it in quite easily. Nothing Roos could have done about it. You're used to seeing Hume smashing into players like that and getting rid of it. So I thought it was 2 really poor defensive moments that ultimately cost us the game. Because like I have said, I think our general play in the first 25 minutes was actually all right and we looked like the better team. But when you have 2 stupid moments like that, that cost you the game. Just on Traore, I know you were saying that you thought he had a good game. I just thought it reeked of a winger who wanted too much time. He was, sometimes he was beating a man and he had an opportunity to put a cross in or have a shot or play a pass, and then he was turning again and again and again, and then before you know it, was 3-4 players on him, and the attack slows down and we can't do anything about it. We're usually really good on the counter, and with Adingra and Traore and Isidore up front, I was thinking, Lathie can play some nice balls through, we'll get on the counter attack, we'll hit them with pace. We didn't have that directness that we usually have on the break. We seemed to be slow to get out every time that we would try to hit them on the break, and if we were going to score, it was probably going to come from a counter-attack. So I am really disappointed, which might come across as a bit arrogant. I wouldn't have probably been disappointed at the start of the season, but I was confident we were going to go there and get a result.
Right, thanks very much, arrogant Jack. We've there's a bit of a loving going on the chat down here with Bowers and Jack Dodds there, sort of loving each other and what have you. Peter Cole says Wolves is a massive game, must win. Yeah, I've got to agree with that. Jacob's on there. Hi, Jacob. Jacob was down at Old Trafford yesterday. Evening, lads. Ask Jack how much of a nightmare it was for the fans getting in the ground just before kick-off, Jack.
A nightmare of epic proportions. I was stood in the queue right outside the turnstile at 2:30, and I didn't actually get into the stadium until we kicked off. As I walked out of the concourse and into the bowl, I guess, and up to my seat, that's as Xhaka was kicking the ball. So 30 minutes I was stood waiting. Obviously a lot of people only turn up 10 minutes before the game instead of expect to get in. And, probably for the first 20 minutes, there was fans still making their way in. And like I say, for the biggest club in the world, that is really disappointing. With all the budget they've got, you would expect them to be able to bring people through quickly. They had a turnstile that was shut. The turnstiles were slow. The staff didn't seem to be doing anything to try and speed things up and get people in. So, yeah, terrible organisation, really disappointing from a big club.
Do you not say, should you not have gone, if you hadn't gone into the toilet, I'll bring you both in just now, then you'd have got in though, wouldn't you?
You what?
If you hadn't gone into the toilet, you would have got in on time. You said you was in the ball.
Right, Terry, what was that you want to say, mate?
I think Manchester United should be fined, and some of the fans should be given the money back, because I know Wincy went down and he was waiting ages and it took him till 3:30 to get in because the turnstiles were that bad to get in. That's pathetic from a club the size of Manchester United. They should be banned and deducted points.
Well, Wincy got his photo with Barini though, didn't he? So
he did. I made him
Lee, you was one in there as well, weren't you?
I think Jack should count himself lucky that he was in the queue for half an hour and he got in late, because it was £6 a pint for a poured can of Madry inside, apparently. So
there you go. Right. D Hall on the chat says, wrong watch strap, Philly. Well, I've been working in Sheffield, so I'm not going to take loads of different coloured straps with us, but I do think that's where it is. The yellow one is the lucky one, and I've been wearing the white one. So
I thought all this time in Sheffield was because you were trying all the different types of jock straps to have down there.
That's the rumor, apparently. So
no, that's
not jock straps.
That's just what Karen informed me of. That's all.
Listen, Karen knows nothing, so she's in the kitchen. No, I didn't say that. I should be watching. She'll kill us when I'm finished. Right, okay. Just very quickly, look, we'd like to get 100 likes if we can on a Sunday night. So if you're watching, just we've got over 100 people on the stream at the moment. 40 likes. It's on my thing here. So 60 more people. Just hit the thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do that. Give us a like. Let's get us to a magic 100, which we like to do on a Sunday. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button, and that helps us out immensely. Right, so this first 30 minutes where we were set up wrong, and obviously when we changed it, like Terry at the start, you said once we changed it, we never looked like conceding. I just want to give credit to Reggie, because he's he acted on it. He's seen it's not been working. He's changed it straight away. We've had other managers who would have just sat on that and let it go and what have you. So, it really sent out a strong message for me that we've absolutely got a top-notch manager who knows what he knows the game. He's watching the game. And when something's not right, he's not afraid to change it. I mean, a bit harsh on Adingra having to come off, but that's what needed to be done. Should he have started with 5 at the back? I mean, I know 3 at the back, but 5, 3, well, whatever. Should he really have started like that? Was he right to sort of give it a go, Jack?
I think looking back in hindsight, that would have matched us up against Man United a little bit better, because when they went forward, we did look a little bit disorganised. Obviously, they've got Sesko up front, who's kind of their focal point. And then you had Mbumo just off of him with Mount, and then Ahmad and Dalot as the wing backs. And I think when they went forward, they really went forward in numbers. When you're away from home, you really want to be able to kind of frustrate another team and prevent them from being able to do anything. But I think they just kind of overloaded us with numbers when they did go forward. And that's, for me, is probably where the goals came from, is a bit of a lack of organisation. When Ballard came on, a lot of people around me were saying, why is he bringing the defender on and taking off of a winger when we need to get back into the game? What people didn't realise is you go from having four defenders in a back 4 to a back 3, because that then allows Hume and Masuaku to push on. I thought it gave us a bit more control, a little bit more defensively organised, and then it allowed and it freed up Hume and Masuaku to go forward, even though ultimately it didn't really work. But I think whenever I've seen us with 3 at the back so far this season, I think we look a little bit more organised at the back, and then when we're going forward with our set pieces, Mukele's long throws, the corners, we've got a bit more aerial threat, especially with Ballard. He's like a battering ram in the box. So I would personally like to see us use 3 at the back or 5 at the back, however you want to word it and look at it, in the next few games and give that a go.
Right, okay, Lee. Credit to Reggie. He saw it, he acted on it. But should he have started like that?
No, I think we've been playing with the back 4 the whole season. One thing is interesting, Philly, is that we've often started with the back 4, but we've quite a few times finished with the back 5 to shore things up. And that's what the back 5 is there for, to shore things up. I mean, yesterday you saw when we went to the back 5, we had more control of the game in a defensive aspect, but we didn't really create anything in the second half. Neither team did. It was just like a dead rubber in the second half, apart from the Talby chance. So I think we just got to go back to a back 4. I think Dan Ballard has to be in that 11. I don't think you can have a player like him sitting on the bench. I think he has to come in. And for me, the person that has to come out with a back 4 at the moment is Trey Hume and Mukiele go right back. Masuaku, there's question marks over him, but Reynolds going to be back soon, so he can fit in the left back. But I think Mukiele will go to right back and have Ballard and Alderete in the centre. And I think the reason why we struggled so much yesterday was because of that left-hand side, because of Adingra not tracking back. Adingra's a good player going forward. He showed that. He was the one who created the chance for Traore at the start of the game. But if he's not going to put the shift in and track back and help, then obviously he's going to be dropped out of the team. I think that's why Lafille is probably better for us on the left, because he's creative, but he'll also run his bollocks off. He'll get up and down the pitch. In the middle of the field, he's a bit of a luxury for us, isn't he? Because we don't really have that much possession. He's not going to get on the ball. He's quite weak, so he's not going to win battles in the middle of the pitch. And I think there was a couple of 50-50s yesterday where he came off second best. So I think Lafille's a bit wasted for us in the middle with the style that we play. And I think he gets on the ball more and he works harder on the left. And it might annoy people because we want to see him in that midfield role. But I think the way we play, we have those two midfielders in front of Xhaka that are just all legs, engine, and physical. But Lafille doesn't have that physicality, and we don't get on the ball enough to exploit his strengths.
Right, okay. Terry, credit to Reggie for seeing it, acting on it, but should he have started like that?
Yeah, credit to Reggie for doing that, but also you got to take some credit away from Reggie for not playing. For me, Lafille, as Lee just said, on the left-hand side has the legs, and he's shown that in games to get back and help the left back out, which he needed desperately because the likes of Ahmad and Mbeumo were just running riot down there. And it possibly should have been changed a bit earlier because we needed that energy on that side, and Adingra wasn't tracking back. That's why, having Rig as well in the middle, along with Siddiqui. Siddiqui will then move over to the right, left a bit more, and Rig will help on the right a bit more, and you got Xhaka pulling the strings in the middle. So, for me, the formation was wrong, and obviously we took Ahmad and Mbeumo for granted because they just absolutely run right on that side. And having Lafille in the middle, for me, just in the Premier League, I just don't think Lafille in the Premier League is going to be good enough in that middle as a number 10 role. For me, he's like Lee said, on the left-hand side, he has that bags of energy and go past players like he showed in games. So setting up the 4-2-3-1, yes, you can, hindsight's a wonderful thing. He took a chance. It may have worked out. It didn't. We're not going to slag him off for it. We'll learn from it. He changed the team, and we all know where it went wrong. So hopefully, like against Burnley, we got beat against Burnley. We come back, we bounce back much better. We're missing Ronaldo on the left-hand side as well because he's not just a left back, he's a leader. And he's able to read the game so much better than Masuaku. Yes, he made the silly mistake getting sent off. Hopefully he won't do it again. But as soon as he gets back, our left-hand side's going to be a lot better and the defence will be a lot better.
All right, Jack, you want in there?
Yeah, just on Lafille, I think he's been really good so far this season, in particular coming off of the left. I thought he really struggled yesterday in the middle with the physicality. And I think with Lafille, he needs a bit of space to work his magic. And that midfield was just so packed with players yesterday that I think he struggled to kind of get the ball out of his feet, get his head up. And that's when he can play them passes in behind, or he can take a shot from distance and he can kind of make something happen. And I think for me, what I've noticed so far this season is I think our wingers are what let us down. I haven't been impressed by Talby. I don't think he's very creative. I don't think he converts chances particularly well. I think Adingra is very weak and he's very easily out-muscled. And Traore didn't impress me yesterday either. So I think for me, a way to go forward is if we are going to play with an attacking winger, it has to be Enzo Lafille. Take him out of the middle, where it's more about a battle and being physical and not necessarily technically brilliant, but, what Siddiqui does, run all day, what Diarra does, muscling plays out the way and stuff. Get him on the flank where he's got a bit more space, he can cut in and he can, find players with passes and stuff like that. I know Lee was wanting in there.
Go on then.
No, just on the Talby point, I think, listen, a lot of people have pointed out that they haven't been impressed with him, but I think if you look overall, the way he's been performing, he has been doing a job. And yeah, he hasn't been as creative. I think the most creative we saw was against Aston Villa when he was in the build-up, wasn't he, for the goal with Isidore. And he was actually playing on the left, running down the left and cutting inside, but we play him on the right. But I think as well, I think Regis doesn't want wingers anymore. I think he wants us to have like wide midfielders that are going to get up and down the pitch and be able to keep the ball, pass it, and use it well, rather than just like have like a winger like Mundell or Roberts running down the wing. I think he wants people who can get up and down the pitch and use the ball better, rather than just have like a direct winger. So I think Talby would have been a better option to start yesterday. Possibly on the left, on the right, doesn't matter, because I think him and Lafia are the ones that have the most energy and they offer more tracking back than Adingra and Traore, because both of them are basically have a reputation for not doing enough.
Jack?
I do take your point about Talby. I think, it's fair to praise him for his defensive work ethic. He tracks back a lot, and that doesn't go unnoticed, and I want to praise him for that. I think what, for me, lets him down is moments like yesterday when he was 1-on-1 with the keeper. There was, I don't know how long was left off the top of my head, but there was certainly enough time for, if that went in, to then, work toward getting a second goal. Big moment, and he just puts it straight at the keeper. I've yet to see him create many chances. So if we're going to play him as a wing back, for example, where Masuaku was after we brought Ballard on as a left wing back, hold the flank, get up and down, help the attack out, help the defence out, but without that pressure of being in the final third with a split second and make your mind up and take a shot across or pass. I think we'll probably get more out of him there. But I think if we're playing him as an attacking winger, I just don't think defensively he's good enough, because, we go forward and we break quickly, and I think he takes too long, and his decisions just aren't very good sometimes. And I think he let himself down by just putting it straight to the keeper yesterday.
Right, okay, let me go to the chat first of all. Ian Brown saying Wolves manager got sent off, so won't be on the touchline. I don't know how much that's going to be an advantage to us, but bit of information for you there anyway. Mick Griffith says, definitely start with 5 at the back when you're away. It's all about opinions here. No Gammons is saying not harsh when Adingra came off, because he doesn't defend, hardly tracks back, stuff like that. Marianne and Carl Taylor, our friends over in Boston, Massachusetts. Hey guys, I think Adingra was playing well until the change. See, I quite like Adingra as well. It's all, like I said, people see things differently. But yeah, what I want to do is I want a quick word from our sponsors, because we're cracking on here. And when we come back, we're going to start on our favourite topic of the referee yesterday, which is, I'm sure, going to get everybody going. But don't forget, of course, wolfcompetitions.co.uk. We're out in the street giving away money. This was out on, when was I out? Thursday. This is what we did. We were down the beach on Thursday, and this is what we did. We are with, what's your name?
Michael.
This is Michael down here. We are giving money away, doing keepy uppies. Are you any good?
Not really, I'll have a go though.
You'll have a go. 5 keepy uppies, we'll let you press the button. If you get the right button, 25 quid. In your skyrocket, all yours. Yeah. All right, there's the ball. Are you ready? It's a loss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! Get in! Right, come here then. I'm going to let you. Right, I'll let you press the buttons. You've got to get the winning button. It's up to you. Just press one of them. If you get the winning button, 25 quid, it's all yours. Face the camera. Gives a big smile. Ready? Anyone you want? Anyone? Yeah! High five! Yes! 25 quid, it's all yours. Get in. You can buy a new shirt now, can you? Get in. All right. What's your name?
Megan.
Megan. Are you in love?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? Is he handsome?
He is. Yeah.
Is he like me?
Yeah, very
Thank you
close.
very right. Oh, you've won? One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Oh, well, go on. I'm going to let you press the button anyway. 25 quid, it's all yours. All right. Anyone you want. Anyone. Yeah! High five! Yes! Yes! Megan, 25 quid. And what about that? High five. Wolf Competitions. There you go, wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Check out the site. You can win loads. We'll give loads of money away. We're out and about tomorrow. We're around Sunderland somewhere. I don't know. If you watch our social media, find out where we are. Come and see us. We give money away in the street, like loads of money for next to now. So there you go. And so thanks to Wolf Competition sponsoring our channel for the full season. Thanks to them for that. Right. Mr. Referee. Right. Should we have had a penalty? Because for me, I know the ref gave the penalty. Foot was high, so for me, I've always seen it as dangerous play. I think if that hadn't been in the box, we'd have got a free kick or whatever. Does it matter that it didn't make contact? Surely it was a stonewall penalty for me. Terry?
Oh, I mean, I've only seen it the once and I thought it was a penalty, but I haven't seen it back to where you see the angles where it hasn't hit his head. I think it's dangerous play. The intention's there. I mean, everyone I've spoke to have said it. They've thought it was a penalty. And I think, look, at the end of the day, VAR, I've looked at it at multiple angles. If they say it hasn't touched his head, then obviously they're not going to lie, are they? So I suppose we've got to go along with their decision. Personally, if it's dangerous play, yes, it should be a penalty.
Well, I mean, it clearly doesn't touch him. He clearly doesn't touch his head. I've watched it back multiple times, and it doesn't. But I didn't realise it had to make contact. You put your foot up like that, and it's as high as somebody's head. It's dangerous play, whether you kick them or you don't kick them. That's how I've always understood that to be. Now, that might not be the case. It might be, you do have to make contact. But I don't know, Lee, your thoughts on it? Was it a penalty?
Not for me, Philly, no. I think at first sight, I did think it was a penalty, but when you see the replays, you can see that Šeško puts his foot up, but he makes an attempt to play the ball. It is a bit high, but it catches him on the armpit. Hume holds his face because the ball's whacked him in the face. He thinks it's his foot. And I think that when VAR gets involved, I think they see that Hume's holding his face, claiming that he's being kicked in the face. But when they see that there's no contact with the boot on his face, that kind of makes up their mind to say, okay, there's no foul. And I think it's one of those, isn't it, where if it's anywhere else on the pitch, it probably gets blown, doesn't it? Because VAR wouldn't take a look at it, and the referee's just giving his own opinion. But if that was against us, I think we'd be fuming. Watching the replays and seeing a guy hold his face and he hasn't been kicked in the face, I think we'd be fuming. So I think the right decision was made, but it's just like the VAR getting involved, and it benefited us, isn't it? Sometimes a season in the playoff final, but this one it went against us, and I think the right decision was made, Philly.
So in that case, then, so if somebody puts their foot up in the middle of the field and it's right in somebody's face, but they don't make contact, is that not then a free kick? Is that not how it works? Is that not dangerous play?
It depends on the angle, I suppose, doesn't it, Philly? Because like Šeško's behind him and he's putting his foot in front of Hume. Whereas if it's like face on and you put your foot up like that and hit someone in the face on, that's dangerous play. I don't think Šeško, his intention was to be dangerous in his action or reckless. I think he was just like a genuine attempt to go from the ball. He was behind Hume. He was defending. He puts his leg round the side of Hume, catching him on the armpit. I don't think it was dangerous play. I think there's other situations where if it's a really high boot and it's front on, then yeah, I think it's a foul. But I just don't think that was a foul. I think if that was given against us, we'd be fuming, and probably at Old Trafford, it probably would get given against us. You know what I mean? So
I just somebody on the chat can fill us in on this. I don't, because whether it's intentional or unintentional, I think if your foot is that high up, I just think every time the ref would blow the whistle and give a free kick. And, like I said, intentional or not. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But I think it depends on the angle, Philly, as well. The angle of the kick. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Šeško is behind Hume and he's making a genuine attempt for the ball.
Well, what he said is his foot goes that high. It's got to be because his foot is that high. It's dangerous play. That's how I see it. Now, like I say, I don't know if the rules are it has to be intentional. It has to make contact or whatever. I don't know. Jack, your thoughts on it?
I don't know exactly how the rules work in terms of.
Hang on. Sorry.
Philly.
No,
I haven't refereed.
No, you're a referee.
I haven't
You're a
refereed a football
referee.
game about 4 years, right? So I don't know exactly what the rules are in terms of do they have to make contact or not for it to technically be a foul. But talking from a common sense point of view, it is dangerous to put your foot that high, especially when a player is going in for it with his head. So I don't know what the rules say, but I'm looking at that and I'm thinking he's putting his foot up there in the stadium. I initially thought, he has kicked him in the head. You look back at the replay and he hasn't, but there's still contact. He's still put his foot way higher than what is safe. What we're also not mentioning as well is earlier on in that first half, I don't know if you saw it or not, there was an incident where we were going forward and one of the Man United defenders had just about every limb wrapped around Isidore, pulling him to the floor. Ball was nowhere near Isidore. No attempt to play the ball at all. Complete and utter foul. Later on in the game, Traore, is played through. He gets sandwiched, sliced between the keeper and Bruno Fernandes, wiped out by the two of them, and yet he gets booked for diving. And every single decision yesterday went to Man United. I don't think I've ever seen such a one-sided refereeing and officiating performance overall in my entire life. We would just be making contact, going shoulder to shoulder with the United players, and the referee would blow his whistle, free kick, yellow card, and then it would happen the other way around, and our players are getting booked for diving when the United players are putting strong challenges and are not getting anywhere near the ball. So I don't know if it's just one of those things where it happens when you go to Old Trafford. I didn't really believe that because the atmosphere was terrible from them like yesterday, really. United didn't really make any noise. It wasn't particularly intimidating or anything. They haven't got Fergie down the touchline anymore. Yeah, I thought the refereeing was very one-sided, and I think we were. I definitely think that we deserved a few more major decisions to go our way.
Right, okay. Few people on the chat down here. Then I'm going to come on to the other one now. So we might as well follow it straight away with this one. Emma saying on Hume, no, he should have been booked for simulation. I mean, he did hold his face, but he held his face because he'd been hit in the face with the ball. You know what I mean? So, not sure I agree with that, Emma. Michael Bowers is saying no for the Hume one. However, the other one, the Traore one, flabbergasted he got booked for simulation.
I think just in the Traore, it was outside the box, so it would have only been a free kick. The point still stands, it's a foul, and that's denying a goal scoring opportunity. Why on earth would Traore dive when all he has to do is stay on his feet and he's got an open goal and we're back in the game? Sorry,
we'll come on to that one now. Philip Emerson says outside the box, we'd have got a free kick for that high foot, and I 100% agree with that, which is why I 100% think that should have been a penalty. And the ref, gave it, and I suppose it's probably the first time VAR's gone against us, I think, this season, because it's been fairly kind to us, VAR, so far. Yeah, just one of them things. But yeah, the other one then in the second half where Traore was coming through and he was, there was two of them on and one there. He was definitely fouled. Yes, it was outside the box. He fell inside the box, but I think contact was outside. But then to be booked for for simulation. Your thoughts on that one, Terry?
Yeah, let's face it. Apart from the decision on Hume where he gave a penalty, the referee was terrible yesterday, wasn't he? Home side, biased referee. I've got no idea what his problem was, but that was 100% never a yellow card for Traore. It was a free kick to us. At the time we thought it was a penalty, but obviously it wasn't outside the box. It's pathetic, like Jack says. The decisions, we get dragged all over the pitch by their players, and that was happening. But as soon as we touch their players, we got free kicks away. Sometimes the referees need to be taken in hand and taken in an office and given some sort of, I don't know, disciplinary hearing or something, because it's pathetic the way the referee some of these games are so biased to one team. It honest to God, it spoils a good game of football. And like Michael Bauer says on the chat there, he says, don't take away from our poor performance at times. It doesn't help us at all when you're playing against 12 men. Pathetic.
Michael says ref was appalling all game. No Gammon says, did VAR even review Traore's I'm not sure. I can't really remember if it was.
No.
It wasn't reviewed by them. Right. Okay. We'll come to you next, Jack. I'll quickly tell you what's going on here. We do have a private chat thing on here, which obviously you can't see, and because Jack and Lee speak Spanish, they're having a conversation in Spanish. So me and Terry haven't got a clue if the calling is old and stuff like that yet. So, but
I've
anyway,
only got one mobile phone, so I can't see any conversations
it
anyway.
was
So.
well,
let me
there
tell
was
you,
one.
it's got nothing to do with you being old, mate. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
about that.
there is one what says something El Terreo or something like that. So I think that one's about you. Jack, your thoughts on the Traore one?
I kind of gave my thoughts just previously, but one thing I will mention about the penalty, which I think the penalty which we're talking about, Sesko with a high foot before, the whole process to me was just completely backwards in terms of checking it with VAR. I mean, the incident happened and the referee moved on. He then spoke to the linesman. The linesman clearly said something which made him think it was a penalty. The referee blew his whistle, gave a penalty. The ball wasn't in play at this point. Then the United players complain. Then he goes to the VAR box. Then he has a look himself. Then he decides to overturn it. The ball wasn't in play when the linesman spoke to him. So if you're not sure, go to the VAR box and check it yourself. Don't give it. Get everyone's hopes up. Have Lafay stood there waiting to take the penalty, thinking about what he's going to do. Then go and check VAR. Have a word with the linesman. Right, you think it was a possible penalty? Well, I've got VAR, so have a look. Go to the VAR box, go to the telly, have a look at it, and then make your mind up. And for me, I just can't understand how it's not a clear and obvious error. And as for the Traore one, I said before, I cannot see how that wasn't given away. Why on earth would you dive in that situation? How could you interpret that as a dive? You're getting sliced in the middle of two players, but yeah.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, D Hall says it was the wrong call. Keith Hackett blasts VAR after Sunderland's penalty was overturned as well. I've not seen that, but obviously that's a former referee chucking his 2 penneth worth in. Lee, your thoughts on the Traore one then, second half?
Well, I mean, he was galloping down that wing quite fast, wasn't he? Like Shergar, wasn't he? But yeah, I think it was outside the box. Fernandez has the initial contact, pushes them into the keeper. The keeper kind of brushes it past them. But you've also got to look at the other player coming across. There was like Diego Dallo coming across. Traore's touch, possibly he wouldn't have gotten to the end of it because Dallo was coming across. Could they have looked at a potential red card? Yes, but a penalty, no. Should he have got booked? No. And it's like VAR. If VAR can get involved to check decisions and clear them, or just like a quick check on the microphone, no, it's not a penalty. It was outside the box. It's not a red card. But then tell the referee there is contact, so take away a yellow card because you're making a mistake. So I think that's the kind of frustrating thing. And I think Paddy Power's social media account summed it up when he said Traore gets booked for being fouled by Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Just quickly on the chat, Gary was on the Sunday Bunch last week. Says it's not very often I agree with Jack, but I think you might be right there, Jack. So he doesn't always talk sense, to be honest.
He's lying. He agrees with everything I say.
Right. Okay. Listen, we do like to try and hit 100 likes if we can on a Sunday night. We're on 64, so we're lagging behind a bit. So if you can just hit that thumbs up for us, take you a second to do so. Let's get us up to 100. Make it a happy Sunday for us. And don't forget, more importantly, if you've not subscribed to the channel and you're watching, give us a subscribe. It's free to do so, and that does help our channel out. So we had a number of chances yesterday where, you know, it could have totally changed the game. And I mean, Talby's missed late on. I mean, he was through, and it was such a lame shot, and it was straight at the goalie and stuff like that. Chances like that in the Premier League, they say they don't come around that often, and you need to take them. Missing chances like that, could that be our downfall this season? Could that be the thing that sees us in trouble, Lee?
Well, we're not scoring a great deal of goals, are we not? So when you get chances like that, 5 chance, like the Traore chance, because Xhaka was a long range shot. Brian Brobby had a chance where Mukiele whipped the ball in. He was just like a whisker away. The Talby chance, the Ballard header at the end of the first half. I mean, you'd put your house on Ballard getting that in the back there, wouldn't you? So yeah, there were chances, but on the Talby chance, what irked me a little bit was that Mayenda didn't shoot himself because he did all the hard work. He got into a good position. And being a Spanish football player, right? A lot of the Spaniards, they play a lot of futsal, five-a-side football. And when they get into that position, they'll always toe poke it. They won't like try and side foot it or blast it, but they'll toe poke it. It's a very common technique. And I would expect them. He had the great chance to just toe poke it into the corner. But I think it just shows that I think he's a bit lacking in confidence in himself at the minute, because I think a confident Mayenda would have gone for a shot there and would have probably scored. And he had, who did he have? He had Talby on the left of him, and he had, I can't remember, did he have someone on the right side as well? Maybe it's Lafay, I don't know. But yeah, I think you can't afford to miss 5 chances, because we could have got something yesterday out of the game, but because of those chances, we didn't. And it is a bit worrying that we do need to get 5 or 6 chances to get 1 goal. And I think that we can't be relying on Robin Roofs to pull off worldies every game to get us a point or 2 or 3.
Yeah, definitely. Jack, you're one in there.
Yeah, just with Mayenda, I mean, I thought it was strange because there was a moment earlier where he actually did go for it, and Hume was in acres of space on his right hand side just before that, and I was just going to bring that up really, because he went for the shot there, and I thought Hume was the option to hit it, and then it almost seemed like the other way around with the next one. He passed it to Talby when he actually probably had a better opportunity of a shot on goal. And I think, making the wrong decisions when you're a striker as good as Mayenda probably is a sign of low confidence, which is what happens when you get dropped and you haven't played a few games as much as it was his own doing.
Right, okay. Terry, missing these chances, is that the thing what we need to put right most at the moment?
Yeah, it's a learning curve. I think yesterday you got to put it down as a bad day at the office. Nothing was going our way playing against 12 men. That Traore thing that Lee just said, did the referee bottle sending Fernandez off? Should he have sent one of those off? It was last man. Mayenda, before, like Jack said, had a chance to shoot. He shot it, hit it way over the top of the crossbar. That kind of same shot he would have when he scored in the final of against Sheffield United. He put in the back of the net. Does he have a kind of toe poking style of football? Would he just blaze the ball in the top corner again rather than passing it to Talby? So he's low on his confidence, obviously, but I mean it'll come back at some point. I think it's one of those days where you just think nothing at all is going to go right for you, and you get them days, and it's the Premier League, can't win them all. We all want to win them all. We're disappointed we lost yesterday, but we're not going to win. We're not going to win the league. We're not going to win all the games. It's about survival this season, learning from your errors and
Terry, stop being so negative.
Bouncing back against Wolves is the main issue. We don't need to do that.
It's only October. There's still plenty of time to win the league. Stop being so negative, Terry.
He is, but I'm not going to be that positive about winning the league. It's all about survival this season.
And right, okay. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it's all the most important thing about this is making sure that we win against Wolves next week. And as it's been pointed out, their managers not even on the touchline, so we're favourites.
Well, week on Saturday, Philly. A week on Saturday.
Sorry, did ask Saturday. Sorry about that. There could be a marriage on the cards here, because Gary P says and if he'd shot and missed when Hume was in a better position, that might have influenced him passing to Talby. But then I might be agreeing with Jack again. So you could be naming the day, you two. I mean, getting on so well. What about a man of the match from you then?
That's the only logical explanation after agreeing 2 times in the space of 20 minutes. So.
Well, there you go. Man of the match from you yesterday, Terry?
I'll give it to Robin Roofs again, because I think if it wasn't for him, we could have been at least 3 or 4 goals down. I thought Robin Roofs put a performance in. The goal, he couldn't have really dealt with the goals, to be honest. I'm not going to blame him for them goals. But I just think out of the rest of the team, I think Roofs was the best player on the pitch.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly on the chat, Ultra Red Bull 21 says, "Why is the manager not on the touchline against us?" Someone in the chat earlier said that he got sent off today. It was today Wolves played, wasn't it? I think. Anyway, he got sent off. So, but so that's what we believe. Lee, man of the match.
I think you could give it to Robin Moose for that save alone from the Fernandes chance, because it was like probably up there with the save of the season. He had a couple of others, didn't he, from Ahmad, which were kind of like routine saves that were straight at him. I think Granit Xhaka had a good game. He kept it together. After the second goal, there was a bit of an inquisition, wasn't there, about like how the goal came around. A few players pointing fingers. I think Xhaka and Mukiele kind of calmed things down. Traore had a good game. So, yeah, you would say Roos, but I think special mention to Traore and Xhaka. But apart from that, not really anyone else.
Right, okay. Jack, man of the match?
There wasn't many players that came out of it with much credit, but Roofs did make quite a few good saves, in particular the one against Bruno Fernandes, so that curling shot toward the top corner. A few other good saves as well. Thought his distribution was a little bit not quite as good as what it has been, but he couldn't have done anything with the goals. So I'd have to give it to Roofs, because I don't think there was many good performances from the outfield players, really.
Yeah, fair enough. See, this is where I don't get it. I mean, I watched the game yesterday, and I thought Traore had a decent game, and everybody said, and it puts doubt in my mind, because I'm thinking he's not done so bad, and then everybody else is going, oh, he was terrible and what have you, and so.
Well, I think it's because of the miss, Philly. I think it's because of the miss at the start of the game, and the fact that he's been put in there, he's missed a chance, and we're 2-0 down. And I think it's easy to kind of like cherry pick people and become easy targets. The same with Masuaku. I think if people look at the overall thing, you can't really have a go at him, because he was on his own against one of the best wingers in the world. Yeah,
I thought he put a shift in, and I was looking, and I was thinking about man of the match. I thought Xhaka was good. I would probably give it to Roofs anyway. I mean, because like I say, without him, could have easily been 4 or 5 without a doubt. And once again, he turned it on. But it was just it stuns me how I see things differently, and then most of the people and I start doubting myself. Jack, you're one in there.
Yeah, Lee, I think has made a good point there. I mean, I've given Traore a little bit of stick, and I did think he was poor yesterday. However, if he didn't miss quite a disappointing chance, let's face it, in the first few minutes, I probably don't view him as harshly as I do. I think because he did that, everything he did for the rest of the game, I probably viewed in a slightly more negative light. So it might be a little bit unfair to write him off. I'll say he had a bad game. I am probably being a little bit biased because he made such a big error at the beginning of the game. It's just like, for example, if a player comes in and has a brilliant debut, you think they're brilliant. If they then have an off game the next game, you assume that's just a bad game, because your first impression is always kind of like the biggest one. And again, with Masuaku, I did think he was poor. And I didn't watch the Forest game. I was working, but a lot of people have said that Masuaku was poor against Forest. I thought he was poor yesterday, but he was dealing with not only one very good winger, but two, because Mbeumo and Ahmad were both coming at him down that right-hand side.
I think you also got to look at expectations as well, Jack, haven't you? Like, Masuaku was brought in on a free transfer. He's not really, we haven't got much expectation for him to play a lot of games. And the same with Traore. Traore's cost a 1.5 million 1-year contract. I think you got to kind of like balance the expectation. And I think for that price, you're not going to get world beaters like 25 million for Lafi, 30 million for Diarra, 20 million for Sadiki. You know what I mean? I think those are the players that we want to expect more from. But these players like Masuaku and Traore, they're just like a stopgap, aren't they, really, a backup.
Does anybody know when Mundell starts training again?
I think he's in light training, I think.
Monday. Oh, no, it's Mundell. Sorry. All right.
Yeah, but nobody's writing off anybody. If just because you say someone's having a poor game, you're not writing them off. You're just giving your opinion on that performance on that day. When I say I'm disappointed Traore was starting, is because I didn't want to see the team being disrupted by moving people around. So his performance wasn't, for me, wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't the worst on the pitch either. It There's some moments, but you've got to have these players taking these opportunities. Otherwise, like we say, we're going to struggle in this league eventually because we've got to start scoring goals.
Right.
But, I mean, we don't create an awful lot of chances inside the final third, I don't think, compared to a lot of other teams. But, you know, at the moment, apart from yesterday in Burnley, we have defended really well. So the one goal here and there will see us through to get the points.
Right. Okay. Look, we're just about out of time here. See, what worries me about the way I see a game, and it tends to be very different from other people, is the fear of embarrassing myself. Because I've been meaning to... Oh, go on, Terry. Jump in quickly.
Don't be embarrassed, man. Your last days, you get embarrassing all the time.
Right, yes, I know. The thing is, I've been meaning to mention it for the last few weeks anyway, but there's something called Panelists, which is a new app, and a few of us are involved in that from the channel. Jacob, myself, Terry, Wayne, who's been part of our channel as well, and we're starting doing things on Sky Sports as well. I got asked to go on Thursday or Friday, but because I'm away in Sheffield, I couldn't make it. And Jacob was on at the weekend. So if you watch, there's something called the Fan Zone on Sky Sports. It's normally on a Saturday. It's between 6 and 8 or something like that. And you see, and Jacob was on there on Saturday. So if you watch out for us on there, it's just I'm waiting for my goal. But I'm worried if I'd have gone on Saturday, I'd have been saying how brilliant Traore was and stuff like that. And everybody's gone, what is he? No, he knows absolutely all.
But it's just opinions, though, isn't it? I mean, you can watch the same game and have completely different opinions. I mean, I've disagreed with, for example, a few things Lee has said tonight, but it's not that one person's right and wrong. It's just that you interpret things differently, innit?
Well, it is, but it makes you doubt yourself. I'm thinking I've watched the same game as anybody else, and I'm like, and I must say it differently. Anyway,
when you go on there, Philly, it's not about like what your opinions are and what you say, what you think.
Hang on, Terry. So this is you speaking from experience because you've been on about 2 or 3 times already, haven't you?
I've been on 3 times, and the worst part of it's bloody nerve-wracking. I still get nervous before it. Yeah. You just don't want to look stupid. That's the thing, isn't it? That's what you're worried about.
That's exactly it. That's exactly. Our last says, well, just put your hat on, your top hat, and you'll look stupid anyway. So, Lee, sorry, go on.
No, Philly, I just want to say as well, because like Terry made a point before about writing people off, and it looks like on social media, a Dutch news outlet has got wind of some of our fans criticising Brian Brobby and calling him the worst striker since Josie Altidore. And this news outlet in the Netherlands has published this. And it just makes us look ridiculous. So, like, there's no need to write off Brian Brobby. He's played like 12 minutes. You know what I mean? Yes, he costs money, but he's only just arrived. So it makes us look like knobheads with comments like that get picked up by news outlets who then publish it. So I think, Brobby needs time and he'll become a good player for us.
Yeah, but
he hasn't had enough time to judge him, really. As well, he's been coming off of the bench into games that are kind of going one way or going the other. We haven't seen what he's like starting yet.
Yeah, but I do recall somebody, I think he's a Sunderland fan, but he lives out in Amsterdam and used to go and watch Ajax and said that Brobby was just, not very good. But we've got to give him a chance. Right, look, we need to wrap this up because we're well over time. Don't forget, on my computer here, I've got 70 likes. We're 30 people short. Why don't 30 of you just hit that thumbs up and get us to that magic 100 if you would do on this Sunday? I was going to have a quick look at the Wolves game coming up, but we'll go on international break next week, so we've got bags of time to do that. It's probably just time to say bye to everybody. So, Terry, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
I enjoy your week. I know it's not a great way to go into international break, but at the end of the day, we're still doing really well in the Premier League, so be positive about it. We'll come back and bounce back against Wolves.
Fantastic. Right, a bit of competition for you here, Lee, because Lee, you normally sign off in Spanish. So I want you to sign off in Spanish, and then Jack, you're going to sign off in Spanish as well.
Oh, thanks for giving us plenty of time to prepare.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I thought you were fluent, because that's what you've made out. Right, I'll give you time to think about it.
No,
Lee,
no, no.
We
Go on.
can
Hold on a
do the
minute, hold on a
Spanish
minute.
Chuckle
If-
Brothers.
If Lee signs off in Spanish, then he'll know if Jack talks rubbish. If he's just
Yes,
making it up.
yes, he
I
will.
thought he just makes it up as he goes along.
Yeah, right. So
We can do the Spanish Chuckle Brothers if you want, Philly, like para mí, para ti. But yeah, que paséis buena semana, que pase rápido el parón de partidos de selecciones, que es un coñazo. How the lads, que se jodan las huracas.
Do you agree, Jack?
Estoy de acuerdo con Lee. Tenemos que no preocuparse porque solo hemos perdido 2 partidos hasta este punto y si ganamos contra Wolves olvidaremos todo. Entonces todo lo que necesitamos hacer es confiar el equipo y el gerente Regis de Bris.
Yes, well, me and Terry, Neanderthal man, only speaks English and has
Parlez-vous français is about as good as you get from me.
Hey, listen, Jack passed with flying colours. That was a great speech, mate.
Fantastic. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you're about in Sunderland, watch for us tomorrow. I'm out with Wolf competitions. We're giving money away. Look for me top hat on me furry feet, and come and get some money off us. And once again, like I say, a massive thank you to Wolf Competitions.co.uk. Check out the site. They are our channel sponsors for the full season. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your pals about it. And if you are a member of our channel, watch for your name in the credits at the end. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.